Did you know that you create this world, the physics, the actual physics of its behavior, and most importantly, yourself? We suggest you too. We suggest you do. And a number of quantum physicists, working in quantum mechanics, believe that we are creating this reality and the physics of this reality ourselves, that the data from their experiments and the math around all that indicates that's the case. And really, what could be more natural or more intuitive? Every spiritual practice throughout all time that's been passed down, however it is, by word of mouth or by the written word, it's about becoming self-aware of ourselves, self-aware of the world that we live in, self-aware of others, how we create, how we make our life, our world what it is, how we hope, what we believe. Think of yourself as a creative machine. In a way, we aren't machines at all. We're organic. Nothing is a machine, really. Even a machine isn't a machine. It's just a way of thinking. But think of yourself as a creative force that is giving life to this world. And if we are a creative force giving life, a font of life, why do so many terrible things happen in the world to us, to others, to loved ones across the planet? Why are we living in a natural world, in nature, where most every life form is chasing after, hunting down, killing, and eating other life forms? This is predation. Why are we living in such really an awful situation of predation? If you were creating a reality, would you create predation where, golly, every single life form, even plants, are competing and choking out other plants that aren't from their own family? Everything is chasing after everything else, trying to compete and kill it and eat it. Who would design such a world? Truly only a sociopath would, something or someone that likes to cause suffering and pain to others. And truly there is no deity that would do that beyond the deity of humanity. That's what we do. As humans, we're involved in killing each other. We're involved in harming the environment and harming each other. We're involved in hunting down, killing, and eating other life forms that certainly don't want to die at all. There's nothing grand and wonderful about a creation that does all these terrible things. And if you've had enough of suffering, pain, hardship, and death, think with me today about how you're creating your life, about what you're believing in consciously and unconsciously. At immortalnow.com, we teach really nothing new but the ultimate in personal development, the ultimate in self-creation and creating the world, which is that death isn't necessary. Hardship and harm are wrong because hardship and wrong in the world exist in our body. If we're participating in hardship and wrong, if we're even unconsciously accepting death as a natural outcome of life, which it's not at all, we're killing ourselves, we're poisoning ourselves, we're structuring ourselves to create hardship, pain, and disability. I suggest everyone in the world, most everyone, is in some way disabled. We're not fully who we are, we're not fully ourselves, and we're disabling ourselves by consciously or unconsciously buying into a world of hardship, pain, and death, by simply passively accepting harm and killing around us. We're participating in it. And most strongly, I suggest to you, we're participating terribly by the unconscious belief, by the unconscious acceptance, by the unconscious intent to die, to get sick, to age, and be of harm. And I certainly haven't overcome this What we teach what we teach at immortalnow.com, the secret to immortality, is to make progress in this new mindfulness, to make progress in this choice. We aren't deciding that some deity is going to take a magic wand and go kaping, you are immortals on the planet, or suddenly we get a superpower. We're turning on the power and ability that already exists within us. We suggest to you at immortalnow.com, we suggest to you that we're all born to live forever, joyous, happy, and free. We just defeat that by benevolent defeating behaviors. We defeat that by not being fully awake, not being fully aware, and not being fully alive, not living from our soul, our infinite eternal soul, into the world, giving of this infinite good, this infinite benevolence, this kindness, this energy. I suggest that's who you really are. That's really who we all are. That's really what all of life really is. It's simply an eternal outgoing force of love and good in life. But once that life gets into the world, we kind of twist the controls around to create suffering, death, and hardship. We change that all by becoming aware of how we're doing it. And with the secret to immortality at immortalnow.com, please go there and get busy. We have a lot of free stuff, a podcast, an infinite supply of articles, a wonderful introductory course, and a monthly membership. Get busy. If this appeals to you, if you want to be all you can be, if you want full control of the control panel of creation, really, get busy and go to that website. I've been working on my own awakening immortality process for about 1,600 lifetimes. You only need one lifetime, and that's all you ever need to have. But on our blog section of that website, immortalnow.com, you can read about my history. I've worked with several mentors on my own immortality process. I've overcome a few diagnoses of certain and absolute death. I have again and again had what some would call miracles, but are really just the process of a good life, by doing Qigong for immortality, by practicing mindfulness for immortality, and by having great mentors in my life, beginning with my mother and my father, my relatives, family members that came before me, and most recently, for about the last 26 years, a Qigong grandmaster and traditional Chinese physician from Beijing. And he learned from immortals in the mountains of Wudang, immortals that started out as Taoist. I certainly wouldn't describe anyone in any religious terms who has progressed that far. My teacher was also considered to be the reincarnation of the healing Buddha. There's a long technical name for that. Much in the way the Dalai Lama was discovered, my teacher was discovered in China, if you know that history of how the Dalai Lama was found. So my teacher was taught in two traditions that were actually very compatible. Close to the Dalai Lama, he was taught Tibetan Buddhism from a very early age, taught by masters from that same area where the Dalai Lama started out. And he was also taught, beginning in his early teens, by Taoist masters, really beyond Taoism, immortals in the mountains of Wudang. And I had been practicing my own immortality process, and then lo and behold, a hardship and a health problem, an impossible health problem, brought me to this traditional Chinese physician and Grand Master who helped me heal, get well and strong, and became my mentor on a powerful path of physical immortality, We may get there, we may not, but we really need to get going with this consciousness, with this change of consciousness worldwide. I would love all of you to become teachers, teaching what I'm teaching to everyone you know and more, to create a worldwide movement. This is nothing new, but so often these ideas are placed in an unreachable location, a deity or a spiritual master. The master is you. The master is all of us together as we're creating. And I think that's what all spiritual teachers in their time were probably really teaching. Even Jesus, my background is kind of a progressive metaphysical Christianity, where God was simply, to me, more love and more goodness, more grace and more perspective than I could imagine. And that was supported in my home and supported in the church that I went to. I suggest that that higher power lives inside you as who you really are, that we are all connected together. We're connected to each other, to all of life, to the world, and far beyond. And that connectedness is an incredible grace, power, bliss, love, compassion. And you deserve to feel that, to experience that, and have that at work in your life if you don't already. Again, immortalnow.com. I chose that name many years ago, and it has the meaning you think it has. Immortalnow.com. There's plenty there for you today. Get going. We have a free Qigong lesson on our website. You can find, if you look, our YouTube channel. It's YouTube at immortalnow.com, or I think it's youtube.com/@immortalnow.com. YouTube has started to use these handles at whatever your name is. We're at immortalnow.com. Just put in youtube.com/@immortalnow.com. Get going. There's plenty free. And when you finish with the free stuff, we have much more powerful, in-depth, deep diving things for you in our weekly membership site and our introductory course. You deserve everything you can have, and it is more than you could imagine. Bliss, happiness, freedom, control of your life, of how you experience yourself and the world around you in a happy, blissful way that's fully free. Bless you and keep you. You are immortal now.